Hello everyone. First of all, when we have to discuss about the next topic, we should know that what we have discussed in previous classes. We have been discussing about resistance, we have been discussing about voltage, we have been discussing about current electricity and their relations. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about Ohm's law, which connects voltage, current and resistance together in one equation. Okay, so let's start with that. First of all, you should know that what is current, what is voltage and what is resistance. You already know what is current, that is flow of electrons in any circuit system. Okay, now coming to voltage. Actually, you should know that the force which motivates the charge carriers to flow in a circuit is called voltage. Okay, it means it is motivating something. It is just that it measures the potential energy that is always relative between 2 points. Alright, means the movement should have some or the other kind of charge carriers which gives a motion which motivates the flow of electric current in a circuit system. Okay, now the third thing is resistance. Alright, the third thing is resistance. You should always know that resistance is something which stops. Okay, resistivity which stops. Now coming to that definition, that is the ability to oppose current flow is called resistance. It can also be called as opposite of the motion. All right, opposite of the motion of the electric current, so that it stops the way and it doesn't let the electric current flow. Now these were the three basic things which you needed to know before starting up the topic. Let's go on and start the topic, and that is Ohm's law. All right, now first of all, you should know that what is Ohm's law. Okay, Ohm's law, you should know that Ohm's law was an equation and which expressed the relation between V, I, R. V is voltage, I is electric current and R is the resistance. Alright, see, now I will just give you an overview of the Ohm's law. First of all, you should know that Ohm's law states that the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the proportion of the difference. Okay, now see, potential difference is always proportional. Remember that, V, okay, across the end of the conductor, just like in this graph. See, that is current is directly proportional to the voltage, or current is directly proportional to the current or voltage, whatever. Then V is equal to Ri, means voltage is directly proportional to resistance and current. All right, so this is the relationship between V, I, R according to the Ohm's law. All right, now see, always remember that when we have the relationship between current, voltage and resistance, it will always be called as Ohm's law, and it was discovered by the George Simon Ohm. Okay, and it was published in 1827 papers. Actually, he had some work and he had some experiment with the help of a galvanic circuit system and investigation of the mathematics, and then itself the discoverer George Simon Ohm had discovered Ohm's law. All right, now let me go to the next point, that is this equation. V by I is equal to R, that is constant. When we say it's R in this equation, it is constant. All right, now this is the deduction of the Ohm's law, all right, which you will have to practice with the same thing. We know already that we never get anything directly. All right, so when we never get anything directly, it means that we have to deduce, we have to find out from where has it come. All right, now see, V is equal to IR or V is equal to RI. This is the Ohm's law. Okay, now the important points about Ohm's law is not a universal law. The substances which obey Ohm's law are called ohmic substances. It is not a universal law at all, because it cannot be carried out in all the circuit systems. That is why it is not universal. So the conductors or the substances which use the Ohm's law to be done, which use the Ohm's law for the transfer of the electric current or resistance or whatever, those substances are known as ohmic substances. All right, so these are the graphs for a metallic conductor in a straight line. Like, see this one, first one is slope of the line, first one. Okay, in that V is also increasing, I is also increasing. So they have a straight line graph. All right, now here we are calculating about different kind of temperatures, because we already know that in any kind of conductors we have a huge impact of temperature, because due to temperature the flow of current can be slow, the flow of current can be fast, the resistance can also be fast, and the resistance can also be slow. All right, so on the different temperatures we have these graphs. Now next thing is the device or substance which don't obey Ohm's law. Example are gases, crystal rectifiers, thermonic valve, transistors, and others. Those are known as non-ohmic or non-linear conductors. Non-ohmic, you can understand very well that when it was following the Ohm's law, it was known as ohmic substances. Now if they do not follow, those are called as non-ohmic substances. Now why we call it non-linear? Because we know that when we draw the graph of Ohm's law VIR, we get a straight line. Alright, and if we do not get a straight line, that is called non-linear, because the straight line is 180 degrees, that is called linear, and this one, if we do not have a straight line, that is called non-linear. Alright, now these are static resistances. Okay, R means resistance at static position. V by I is equal to 1 by tan theta. When we have to calculate about it, then we have to get tan theta in that. Alright, now dynamic resistance is what? Resistance dynamic, dyn dynamic is equal to change in the voltage divided by change in the current. Delta is called as change, okay, and that will be called as 1 by tan phi, not tan theta, because we have used already tan theta in static resistance. All right, now for dynamic we are using at phi, and this is the crystal rectifier graph which shows the two graphs, that is static resistance as well as dynamic resistance. You can have a look. So the last thing for review, let me repeat it again, that voltage is measured in volts and the symbol is V. Sometimes in some kind of deductions we also use capital E, but generally we use as capital V. Current is measured in amps. Okay, and what are the units of these? Are SI units are very important while we are writing any deduction, any formula, or also when we are solving or calculating in numerical problems. In that we have to use the their standard form. Okay, and that standard form, that standard unit for voltage is volts, for current is amps, 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 and for resistance it is ohms. All right, ohms, and it is symbolized by the letter R. Okay, and Ohm's law can be E is equal to IR or V is equal to IR if we are calculating keeping voltage on the left side of the equal mark. Okay, and then if we have to calculate I is equal to, means current is equal to, then it will be voltage by R, and if we keep resistance at the left side, it will be R is equal to V by I. That's it. That's all we need to remember about the Ohm's law. Okay, thank you so much.